studied theatre, I wrote theatre, I directed.
Was a drama queen, always was, from the day now she was born.
Brilliant, she got on with anybody. She could mix with anybody in the world, like just so kind and very good personality. Always had people around her, always.
She had the best personality, full of life. If you met her, you just got on with her straight away. Nothing bothered her, she just took everything in her stride.
She was so lively, bubbly, always upbeat. When she was in a class, she had a way, her presence just took over the class. Everyone enjoyed her, everyone wanted and loved to be in her company.
I'm from Catholic there, but my family aren't Catholic for religious reasons, it's for like political reasons. Because in the north of Ireland, well, there's a lot of problems, Catholics against the Protestants, but they're not fighting.
Everybody talked about, you know, when school shows and schools got, because she was always brilliant. She always had the lead role, but she was brilliant. She loved her acting, like everything was about her acting.
Oh, every day of her life was about being an actress.
It's not something that just happened, it was done her whole life. That was her. And then she was doing something in school, and there was agent was up the school and seen her. He said, would you come, you know, do my acting classes? And she went, and she got parts, you know, in films and advertisements.
At the age of 15, she had that position as a presenter on a program for young people on Channel 4, out of nothing. You know, we're not talking about nowadays, it's kind of a closed shop often. The children of famous people get to become actors and singers and so on, just kind of feeding off the legacy of those who went before them and kind of blazed the trail. But in Sister Claire's case, it was pure, natural talent and lots of it. And not only as acting, singing and comedy, she had it all. How did she walk away from all of that? That's why I mention this, because it becomes even more amazing. The fact that having escaped a difficult circumstances because of her talent, and having gotten on that inside track to fame and success and prosperity, you know, money and lots of it, and attention, that she was able to walk away from all of that.
En mi vida siempre ha sido o todo o nada, o actriz famosa o nada, o blanco y negro, ¿no? Y también se puede decir que he buscado el amor en sitios donde no lo he encontrado. He tenido novios, he tenido muchas amigas, amigos, mucho éxito en el campo del teatro, he hecho una película, presentadora y todo esto, ¿no? Pero yo sentí que no me llenaba. I was 17, I started drinking, and I liked to party, I smoked, all that kind of stuff. And one time one of my friends, her name was Sharon, she called me up and she said, Claire, do you want to go to Spain? Because there was this free trip to Spain. And she told me that there was going to be a group of people that were going to, she said, all the people that are going to go to Spain are going to meet up in this house next week. I said that I would go, that I was going to go to Spain, and I thought we were going to go to Spain to party, that's what I thought. I thought we were going to go to a place called Etapa. She didn't say that to me, but that's what I thought in my head. That we were going to go there, we were going to party, we were going to drink, all that kind of stuff.
A few weeks before the trip, everything was booked and arranged, and a few weeks before, my appendix perforated, helping my mommy put up curtains. Wasn't able to go, obviously, I was in recovery. So I decided, you know, one of them approached me and said, would you like anyone to go in your place? So the first person that came to mind was Claire.
She thought it was party, party, party. My mom is not here, my dad is not here.
Fuimos a Irlanda para encontrarnos con un grupo de gente de Derry que iba a venir a la Semana Santa. Fue en ese encuentro en Derry con nosotras que se dio cuenta que era una peregrinación.
This group of people, about 20, 30 people, they were 40, 50, 60 years old, all sitting there with rosaries. Are you all going to Spain? And they say, yeah, we're going to the pilgrimage. And you're going to what?
Vino un poco a regañadientes, digamos.
Solemos tener en el hogar de la madre lo que llamamos el encuentro de Semana Santa. Nos reuníamos aquel año en Priego, España, y venía un grupito también de chicas jóvenes de Irlanda, entre las cuales venía Claire Crockett, una chica muy vivaracha, muy vital y muy segura de sí misma.
Bulliciosa, muy bullanguera, le gustaba hacer reír, pero no le gustaba nada pensar.
I looked out the window and I saw Claire Crockett there, sunbathing, and it wasn't even hot.
Pero sí recuerdo que no era auténtica la imagen de superficialidad que ella podía dar en un principio, sino que verdaderamente había una persona que se rendía ante la verdad.
Whenever Father Raphael would speak, she was completely receptive. She was really listening.
Good Friday came and they said, Claire, you have to go. Today's Good Friday. Our Lord died for us. You have to go. Blah, blah, blah. So I went in and I said, fine. I sat on the back bench of the church and they said, Claire, you have to get up and kiss the cross. You know, everybody's doing it. Get up. I said, kiss the cross. Get up. You gotta kiss the cross. So I got up because everybody else was doing it, and I remember standing in line waiting to kiss the cross and didn't mean anything to me.
I went up, and as I went to kiss the feet of our Lord, I remember looking at him, and in that moment I just felt the mercy of God, and I saw that it was my sins that nailed our Lord to the cross. Now, no one had ever told me that, but looking at our Lord on the cross, I just saw that they were my sins that nailed him to the cross, and I just started crying and crying.
For my drunkenness, for my impurity, for my vanity, for everything, I seen him nailed on the cross for that these were the nails, that I nailed him to the cross, it was my fault. And seeing this, and seeing the love that he had for me, that died on the cross for me, I was like, I have to change, I can't go on loving the way I'm loving.
I went up to her and I asked her how she was doing. She looked at me and she responded, "He loves me, he died for me." Then I asked her, "Are you okay?" And she kept repeating that over and over again. So I asked her if she wanted to speak with Father Raphael, and she said yes.
Pasamos a la sacristía y allí entonces yo le pregunté y ella enseguida dijo que quería ser monja. Le dije, pero para ser una monja como estas tendrás que volver aquí. Pues yo vuelvo.
But she had a problem because she also wanted to be famous, and so she said that she could be a famous nun. Later she told everyone this.
Today we were talking about vocations, and I was thinking, oh my God, I've got a vocation, that I want to become famous. An hour ago, I want to become a nun too. So then I said to myself, I'll become a famous nun. So I don't know what to do with myself now. I could become really famous and be really rich, or I could come here and I pray to God that I make the right decision. Gracias!
Initially she struggled with her two vocations, because I have to be a nun and I have to be famous, so the solution is I'm going to be a famous nun. But as she went further and further into the journey, the whole fame thing became less and less important to her, and it was totally eclipsed by the vocation to just love and to live and proclaim the truth. And that was all she cared about in the end.
Volvió a Irlanda, claro está, cuando acabó aquella Semana Santa, y algunas hermanas decían, no volverá, pero yo le dije, sí, va a volver.
Después vino a la peregrinación a Roma, la invitó el padre, tenía mucho interés y la invitó y vino en la peregrinación a Roma, y claro, el aspecto era totalmente de una chica superficial y que estaba de broma, claro, hablaba de la vocación, y a mí lo que más me impresionaba era que el padre Rafael la tomaba en serio. Tenía un especial interés por ella y que confiaba en ella y que sí que creía que realmente esta chica tenía vocación.
Are you camera me? Can you see me now? Can you hear this hola? That's all! Is that alright?
We ended up going to the home of the mother together on a pilgrimage for 3 weeks, and I feel very privileged because I was there for what I think was the light bulb moment in Claire's journey.
We are a temple for his throne, heaven is in my heart, and Christ is...
Santa Clara de Asís. Hoy es su santo.
It's my saint's feast day today, St. Clare of Assisi. Adios!
Our Lord said to me, Claire, I want you to live like one of the sisters. I want you to live in poverty, chastity, and obedience. I think it was that moment that my eyes started twitching like that. And I said, Lord, I can't do that. I can't be poor. And I was giving them all these reasons that I couldn't live like a sister, I couldn't do that it was impossible, I was going to be famous. God, did you not know I was going to be famous? But I remember our Lord saying to me, if I ask you to do this, I'll give you the strength and the grace to be able to do it.
That light bulb moment was the start of her realising that this was something within her that she really desired, that this was what her life purpose was. I remember one of the sisters telling us about how before she had became a nun, she had gone out with boys and done the whole thing. I remember that being a great giggle between us because Claire was fond of the boys and having a wee drink as well and having a wee smoke, and it was like, oh God, I'm going to have to give all this up. I don't know if this is going to be as easy as I thought.
Ella venía cada 2 por 3, como yo no sabía inglés, se quedaba la hermana Elena y entonces venía ella fumando y fumaba así y decía, porque yo voy a ser monja y voy a ser monja famosa, y yo le decía, pues sí, lo creo, vas a ser monja famosa, pero para ser monja famosa tendrás que ser la más humilde, y para ser la más humilde tendrás que aprender a obedecer. Y entonces ella dio una calada al cigarro, dice, pues obedeceré. Ahí está el carácter de esta hermana, ¿ves? Es un carácter de totalidad.
She was just so resolute in her decision, and she was so happy with it, and I knew when I came back that there was nothing going to get in her way, and that was the start of it.
Again, I said during this pilgrimage, I was like, I am changing, and then I went home and I didn't change. So for a year then, I was loving this. Then this year then, when I went home and I said I was going to change, this is the year that I love the worst, because this is the year where I got drunk, and so where I got drunk every Saturday or whatever, and then it turned on to getting drunk every day, and then it turned on I had to go to the hospital because I got drunk. But I wanted the world and I wanted to love my life, but God wouldn't let me. It was like, I don't want you there, I want you for me, I want you loving, poverty, chastity and obedience. Now when I look back on it, I thought that I was happy, but I wasn't happy. And there was one night I was there and I was drinking, and I went down to the bathroom. I remember I was sitting on the cubicle thing in the bathroom.
I remember looking down because I thought I was going to be sick. I was drunk, and I felt all of a sudden that someone was looking at me. The presence that I felt was so strong that I remember looking up because I thought there was someone in the other toilet cubicle looking over at me. I remember looking up going, who was looking at me? And all of a sudden I felt strongly these words in my heart, why do you keep hurting me? I knew that our Lord was right there. He was looking at me. And I saw once again that I was crucifying our Lord with all the sins, with my drunkenness, with all the mortal sins that I was committing, that I was nailing our Lord once again to the cross. Another experience that was very strong that I had was when I was doing the movie, I had to go to England to do it. Now, when you're doing a movie, you have a lady that does your makeup, you have a lady that, opens the car door for you, you have another one that puts on your coat and all that. They put you up in the best hotels, they take you to the best restaurants. I had all that. At night time, what we would do, we'd go out with the directors and the actors, and we would go to a restaurant and we would eat and stuff. Because I had got so drunk the night before, I said, the next night I'm not going to go out, so I actually did, and I went back to my hotel room. I remember sitting on top of my hotel pad and looking at my schedule for the next day that said, the chauffeur would come and pick me up at 7:30 and all that. I remember looking at it and I just started crying and crying. And I remember crying for hours and hours and I couldn't stop.
I was thinking to myself, why am I crying? Why are you crying, Claire? You know what? You've got everything. I knew that by doing this part of the movie that I could, go up this ladder of success, that I was going to get more parts. I knew that. But I felt that I had achieved everything, and at the same time I had nothing. I had nothing within me. I knew that I had to change my life. I knew that I had to cut with everything that was taking me away from God.
I knew that only doing what he told me to do and what he asked of me, that was the only way I was going to fill that hole up. That was the only way I was going to fill it up.
Cortó completamente con todo el tema del cine, que fue la gran inmolación de su vida. La gran inmolación de su vida fue decir, o Dios o el mundo. Entonces yo me decanto por Dios, no quiero saber nada.
Because I fell in love with God. I fell in love with Jesus Christ. I fell in love with him. Because, what can I say, that he stole my heart. And my motivation was this, to be united with God forever.
With a cigarette in this hand and a beer in the other. So guess what? I'm going to be a nun.